Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And this morning, I'm having a conversation with Tim Wagner, who's 120 kilometers outside of Cape Town. Good morning,
That's it.
Tim.
Morning, Carolyn. Awesome to be here. Thanks so much for the invite.
You're very welcome. I thought it was about time that we had a little bit of a chit chat because it's been a while that we had a conversation, and you actually haven't been on my chit chat before. So
I haven't. I've got my
no,
tea. I'm ready to have a good chit
ready
chat
to
over a nice
roll.
cuppa.
Nothing like a nice cuppa. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. And a great view you have from your office, Tim.
You know, if it was real, I don't think I'd get much work done,
You
actually.
just,
So I'm glad it isn't. I'd just be staring out at that
yeah,
all
you
the
wouldn't
time.
get any work done, would you?
No,
Oh
amazing
dear.
technology. Yeah.
Yeah, technology is brilliant, isn't it? I mean, it just, it's, yeah, what's real and what isn't.
Oh, don't start on the AI thing. No, no, no. If we're going
Oh
that way, I'm
no,
going to
we're
terminate
not
that.
going
Don't want to.
there. No,
No, no, thank you. We'll
we're
leave
not
the
going
AI
there.
to the AI fundies. Me, people. That's what I'm at.
People, I quite
Real,
agree. Real
yeah,
people
real,
that you
not
can,
fake.
poke that they're authentic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So, as I always do, I start off with a question, and my question to you is, what is it you enjoy when you're not working?
I'm blessed to live in a beautiful part of South Africa, right on the beach in a small seaside town. It's a holiday town, so outside of holidays, like now because we're in winter, we get the lagoon all to ourselves. So it's a pristine part of South Africa. It's clean, it's quiet. And if I'm not working, we're on the lagoon. We're out there walking. It's nature, being by water, with the dogs. And just, yeah, in Italian, they call it dolce far niente, sweetness of doing nothing,
That's what it's all about.
having that
Mm,
peace, having that cuppa and not really thinking about it.
yes. Well, it's like a natural cuppa, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, refreshing.
Nature's cup of tea.
Yes.
Um,
I
yeah.
like that. I like that. Yeah.
And
So,
is it a lagoon as a lagoon that is it's contained, or is it part of the sea?
now it's connected to the sea. So I'm not far from a port called Saldanha. So that's where the sea comes in. But it's the third largest lagoon in South Africa. So it extends
Oh,
into a national reserve, so a
mhm.
protected park. So it's been meaning it's nice and quiet, and there's no big high rises, and there's no huge hotels and apartments. It's all single or double story holiday homes.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's nature and peaceful, clean. So we don't get a lot of rubbish coming in here. We're on the Atlantic side. So cold, very cold water,
Mhm.
but beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
And lagoons have this sort of their own kind of self-contained ecosystems, don't
Mm.
they? With all the everything, the foliage and the trees
Mm.
and everything around, it sort of has this bubble.
It does. It's like its own ecosystem. It's
Mm,
protected from the chaos of the oceans. And last month in South Africa, along the coast, we had horrendous storms and rains. A lot of homes and places got devastated. But we were protected because we've got this natural barrier between the Atlantic Ocean and the lagoon. So we still get it,
mm.
but we are saved from that. And you can, yeah, it's quite amazing how it works when the from the low tide to the high tide. Um, it's there's an area of the lagoon where you can go and stand on a hill and look down, and a small bit of imagination, you could be on a Greek island somewhere. It's got that beautiful turquoise to it, and it's just
Lovely.
no, it's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, you never know sometimes the beauty of the country of what's on your doorstep. Got to go out
And
there and have a look.
we get very complacent though, don't we?
Yeah, you sit in your bubble, you sit in your
Yeah.
zone. So we lived in Cape Town for 20 years, and we'd been to Langebaan just every now and again, sort of weekend away type of thing. But we never knew that certain areas right were just around the corner because we're not adventurous enough. You get stuck in your zone and you go here and you go there. And
Yeah.
you're always looking at saying, well, when I go on holiday, I'm going to go overseas. Well, what about the beauty of your own country? And I know UK's got some stunning spots as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We do. I think we take things for granted so much. And we don't experiment. I mean, people experiment with food and what they enjoy eating, but they
Yeah.
don't do the same in their own environment. It's
Yeah.
a shame, really. They pack their bags. We're going on holiday, right? We'll book the flight, so taxi to the airport, plane overseas and back again. They don't see any of their own country because they're doing it in the dark more often than not.
That's
So they
true.
just sort of, yeah. So they're not seeing
Mm.
what's on their doorsteps.
And I'll share a story with you of how we actually started to travel in South Africa because I've done a fair amount here. I've lived here all my life, apart from a short stint in the UK when I was finishing school. And it was after the pandemic when the wife and I, we just wanted our freedom back. Now, this was stolen from us in 2020, 2021. We said, we're done. We sold our family home, gave a lot of things away, got a storage unit. So what we really wanted, we put in storage, bought a van, converted it, and we traveled South Africa for a year and a half.
Oh,
So
wow.
the goal was always to travel through Europe in a van. But with the pandemic, we were restricted and we traveled with our fur kids as well. So we said, well, let's do South Africa. And man, we were blown away. There was areas that I'd heard of, but until you actually go and experience.
Mm.
And so it was beautiful. And that's how we ended up here, that every time we came back down to sort of home where family and friends are, and just sort of took a break from driving, we always ended up in Langebaan because we don't want big city anymore. We don't want the chaos and the negative energy and we wanted peace and quiet. And when we stopped traveling because we had enough of potholes.
Oh, you have potholes too. I'm pleased to hear that.
Oh no, we've got potholes that make your potholes look like Smarties. Oh, believe me. You think you've got potholes? No. We'd be driving through areas of South Africa, and I'd say to the wife, you could lose a flock of sheep in these holes.
Oh no! Oh dear.
There's an area just on the way out to Durban on the east coast of South Africa, where the potholes are so bad. The joke is you can spot the drunk drivers because they're the ones driving straight. It's bad.
Oh, I love it. Oh dear. Yes. But it's right, isn't it? We work, we then stop work, we eat, we go to sleep, and it's a perpetual cycle.
Oh, totally.
And
Yeah.
occasionally you go away for a weekend, but oh, got to get back, something's happened, and you cut your Sunday in half because of something's happened. And you just perpetually go on. And it's not until something happens and the alarm bells start ringing, oh, hang on a moment, like you have just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what areas? How far did you travel when you did your van
The travels. We did,
travels?
we did a lot of South Africa, mostly on the coast because we're water babies. But
Yep.
we also went inland to the Berg. We did go up to Gauteng as well, just to go visit friends and family. But it was more the remote areas that we looked
Mm.
for. But we only had a converted VW. In South Africa, we call it a combi, like a
Yes.
caravel type of thing. So it was only a two-wheel drive. So we were restricted. And also in South Africa, you can't go into reserves when you've got dogs. So there
Well,
was
that
a
makes
lot of
sense.
places. Yeah, there's a lot of places that we couldn't go into because of the two dogs. But
Mm.
that was fine. No, we did a lot. I can't remember how many kilometers it was now, but it was a year and a half. And some places we stayed for a long time because we liked it.
Hmm.
It's like being on, this is what I love about that type of travel is when you go for a weekend away, you're driving, there's a destination, you're there, you visit around a little bit, and then you go back home. So now
Yes.
imagine that you get to that destination and you think, this is pretty cool. Let's stay for a few more days. And you do. And then while you're there, you map your next route. You say, where are we going to from here?
Mm.
And it's like, it just perpetuates and it keeps
Yeah.
going. And I love what you said. You just, when people wake up, get dressed, go to work, go home, have supper, wake up, and do all those, the cycle, that rat race, right?
Yeah.
Breaking out of that. And my goal was for years being a digital nomad. So I can be anywhere in the world as long as I've got my laptop, internet sorted. And that's what we did. So for a year and a half, it was like being on that perpetual holiday, which got advantages and disadvantages to it as well.
Of course,
But
there are always going to be disadvantages, but
yeah,
you have to make the positive, you have to turn the negative to a positive.
always. But yeah, go out and experience it. So, you say, what do you enjoy doing when you're not working? Traveling, being outdoors,
yeah,
experiencing life. Yeah.
Well, yes, because in our bubbles, we don't meet it. So around the lagoon, is there a certain type of wildlife that you have there that isn't anywhere else?
Not particularly. There is very specific wildlife, and it is a protected area. But yeah, nothing specifically that is known for. This area of the coast is actually one of the kite surfing capitals of the world. So
right.
in the summer, when the wind pumps, the kite surfers arrive from all over the world, and they come and stay here for a couple of weeks, a couple of months. It's one of the top destinations in the world for learning how to kite surf, because it's the sea and it's on the lagoon. So if you fall off, you can stand up and the water's only sort of waist high or knee high.
Oh, right. Okay.
And when you're learning, so it's kite surfing and windsurfing. It's a sports paradise for water sports. So that's what most people come here for. Yeah, and then the reserve, which is mostly foliage, so it's plants. Very, very well known. There's a lot of plant life in this area, which you don't find anywhere else in the world, as opposed to the water. It's the plant life.
So unique actually to that lagoon.
Yeah, no, some of it is. Well, the West Coast is a beautiful part of South Africa, but it's quite barren as it goes up on the west towards Namibia, Southwest Africa. Very open, barren, so there's not a lot of big trees and everything, because it's a very dry part of the world. So it's got a very different type of foliage. Yeah, I'm not an expert on that. I love going for walks through it, but it's not my. No. I admire the beauty, but I don't know the detail.
Yeah, not your forte. I've seen pictures of like the sand dunes, and then you have the high sand dune, and then you get to the top of the dune, and it goes sharply down and into the sea.
Yeah, so that's in Namibia. That's called the Skeleton Coast in Namibia. It's beautiful, barren, freezing cold, because you just hit with the Atlantic straight on. But absolutely gorgeous.
And a very different type of coastline with that high dune that goes down. It's not something you would expect to see.
Well, not anywhere. No, I think there's not many places in the world where it looks like that. That's a long way from where I live. I mean, I was a lightie when I did that part of the world. But yeah, just this area here, it's just a beautiful, untouched, unspoiled part of the world. Development's growing quite a lot up the West Coast as people are leaving cities, but it's happening everywhere in the world. So there is a lot of development going up the coastline. But, you've got to... Here's the thing in life. You make your options and your choices of where you want to live. Don't look for the problem, look for the solution. And at a time in our lives, we say it's enough of city life and built up big buildings and shopping malls and precincts and chaos. And no, we just want peace and calm and tranquility and ease and a nice cup of tea. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, and of course the stress levels you have in a city compared to the countryside and the on the coast is immensely different, isn't it?
Completely, especially when you're by the sea.
Yes,
and you go into it becomes very restful. You can take a nice deep breath, and it's clean, and there's no chemtrails in the sky and pollution around. And now it's from a health perspective, way far superior. So I'm quite happy to live in a small place like this and sacrifice a little bit on the growth of my business than I would have if I was in a big city for the lifestyle. Because that's what we seek. Our son's 31, so we don't have to worry about schools and kids and holidays anymore. once you've got to that point, you really go, right, what type of life do you want? When it's, money's great and awesome. Yes, I want money, but I'm not going to do what I do to chase money. Now I want to live. We get to that point in our lives where you just say, okay, what else is there, right? What else is possible?
Because that's actually more valuable, isn't it, than having money in your pocket?
Yeah. We need both in this world that we live in. If you don't like it, go find your own planet. But it's finding that balance.
Yes. And you were talking a bit earlier about nomadic working. And of course, that has really taken off. A lot of people, there was a program on television 18 months ago or so, people saying, really had enough. What's holding me here? Absolutely nothing. So let's go and find and see whether I can get work remotely, maybe in a shack on a beach. As long as it's got Wi-Fi, I can do my job and I can enjoy life at the same time. And it's grown exponentially, hasn't it? This nomadic life and working.
Ever since the 2020, when people realized how much they could do being online as opposed to being in an office. Yeah, it's exploded around the world, the whole digital nomad lifestyle. You've got countries all over the world which offer digital nomad visas. Just to attract
that's interesting.
People.
I didn't realize that.
No, all over the world where where the country wants to attract people to come and live there and spend money there, but who are making money offshore. In other words, they're not relying on the government or the local authorities. They're bringing in money and spending it in the country. Yeah. And you can get 6-month, 12-month visas and go and live in some beautiful part of the world. And that's become a huge thing ever since the pandemic, and people realizing that you don't have to be bound by a city. And I can work online, and it's boomed. Yeah. I was doing it long before.
I hadn't appreciated that. That's an interesting factor. And I suppose that's what people are looking for. They're I don't know what the word is, but people are eagerly looking to escape, aren't they? And to be able to finance that as well as enjoying life. I think, it's brilliant that actually countries and governments have realized that element and have done that visa thing that you've just mentioned, which I knew nothing about because it's not something I'd looked into doing. But of course, those that have looked into doing it, you've got all the countries that have got that as an alternative.
That's it. There's always something else available out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes
and talking of traveling, had you ever thought, or did you, perhaps you did or didn't, maybe, did you do a vlog while you were away? Travel vlog?
No, we didn't. There was an app that we used when we traveled so that people could track us. I can't even remember what it's called now, where it actually tracks you through your whole route, and then people can follow you online. So we had that. And then you put pictures and everything of where you're going, and so you get a number of these these recorded travel apps. But no, we didn't vlog.
Well, it was equivalent of putting it on.
Similar to, but it wasn't like promoted on Facebook or social media. No, that wasn't why we didn't do it.
I wasn't sure whether that was something that you would consider doing if you travelled again. Would you consider doing that as a sort of sideline?
Well, that's more something that the wife would do than me. She's always the one who records and takes pictures. And we said we need to have, with our 2 dogs, we should have had the adventures of Sophie and Henry.
Well, yes.
And then people could follow, because people always want to follow animals.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, some of the dogs and cats that you see on summer socials, it's incrable what the antics of.
Places they go, and those 2 dogs of ours they had the most. They knew when we were packing up our van. They knew they were going right. I can see we're packing, and they waited. And they jumped in the van, and off we went. And they would just sleep. They were older dogs, so it's fine. And they just had the adventure of their lifetime.
Yeah,
why not?
Good. Yeah. I mean, it was great that they enjoyed it. And I think they can tell, can't they, whether something's going on. Oh,
Oh
there's
yeah,
something
they
going on here.
became yeah. They knew, right, we're going to the next place. What's next adventures we go to? Where else are we going to run and walk and hike
Yeah,
and camp and do whatever the things are? No, it was absolutely amazing.
brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
There's a gentleman in who puts his videos out there. He lives in, I think it's New York, and he has two collies, and he has one in a backpack and he has one on the front of the
Okay.
bike. And whenever
Yeah.
the sirens go, they just they stay still, and everybody gathers around them because they emulate the siren in the howling.
Ah. Oh,
Yeah,
lovely. Oh, good
yeah,
fun.
yeah. But yes, I think it's great to have the antics of animals because we're an animal society, aren't we? And I think it's great
Yeah.
that people can do that. So the diaries of, or the weekend diary of, yes, it's
Hmm.
always a possibility, I suppose.
For sure. They were only limited by the way that we think. That's it.
Very true,
It's up
isn't
to
it?
us.
Yeah. If you've got a closed mind, then that's not going to work. And if you have
Hmm.
an open mind, it opens up all sorts of,
And then off you go.
yeah.
That's it. Break outside of that cycle, like you were saying earlier on. But instead of
Mm,
being sitting in the humdrum cycle of that job, which just keeps you just off broke and running the hamster wheel and moaning and complaining and bitching, and the weather's bad. Now it's too hot in England, and in the winter it's too cold and too wet. And then there's all of these lovely stories that we just tell ourselves. Okay, we'll do something about it. Then we'll shut up.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
just
Very succinctly put, Tim.
just come on.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true,
your
isn't
life,
it? It's
your
very
life.
true.
You
And
live
I
it.
think I think that we're conditioned very often, 9 to 5,
Yep.
holidays, 2.5 children.
Yep.
It is that, isn't it? And
That's what
I
I call the
think,
domestication. It's just like we domesticate our dogs and cats. We've
mm,
been domesticated and trained as well.
yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
Very true. And I think we need to break free from that a lot of the time,
It's
and stop.
happening. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it more and more where people are beginning to question why they're fulfilling the dreams and goals of others, and what then the question is, what do I do about it? Well, that's a good question. That's where it starts. That's where I started in 2018 when I escaped the corporate world, asking the question of, is this what my life is really meant to be like? What else is
Mm,
available? Who am I? Why am I actually here? And start asking the question and then seeing what receptivity comes back and
yeah.
what you get, and just being
Because without
open to it.
asking the question, you don't get
You're not going to see
that
it.
back. You then don't get the answers that you're looking for. So, as you say, you need to come out of the gerbil wheel.
Yeah, but you ever will. That's it. Stop running that race.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
That leads to various things. Be
It does.
adventurous.
It
Scary,
does.
yes. If it doesn't scare you, it's not worth doing. There's another
Well,
lesson.
no, there's got to be some sort of butterflies, hasn't there? You've got to
Yeah.
have that element of nervousness. Is it going to work? Isn't it going to work? I've got to make it work. I want to make it work. All that, which
Mm,
then gets you going and it gets you on that road to, oh, well, perhaps this could work,
that's
and
it.
that's that quizzical element of it.
Mm.
And it is scary, you jump from, yeah, a full-time job, getting a salary. Oh, help! Who's going
Oh
to pay
yeah.
the bills now?
Well, that's the big thing stopping most people is that
Yes,
trap of that salary. So I
yeah,
say, well, start something part time,
yes,
build it up. I've had part time businesses on the side of my full time job since
mm,
2008
yeah,
because those part time businesses give you a profit, which is way more exciting than the salary earned from swapping your time for money.
mm,
And then
yes,
over time, have one replace the other to give yourself option. But if you're not going to do anything about it, you're not going to, nobody's going to hand it over to you. There's no big payouts. Government's not going to do it. Your boss is not going to do it. Family's
no,
not going to do it.
no,
You've got to do it. So just
yeah,
start. There's
yeah,
plenty of opportunities and ways that these days people can ask for guidance and support. And there's so many systems and businesses that you can begin part time.
mm. Oh,
Just to
yes,
learn.
there,
Just
there really
learn.
is.
Get going.
There really is.
Mm.
But yeah, it's been a joy chatting with you, learning a
Thanks.
little bit more about your life outside of working, and yes, more travels I'm sure are on the cards in the future.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe
yes.
not as length of time, perhaps, but I'm sure there are. So thank you
Oh,
for that.
longer. No, longer. The next one is going to be more
Oh,
perpetual.
oh,
That
right.
one had to come to an end for various reasons. Now it's setting up to make sure that the next one doesn't have to come to an end. We just keep going. Why not?
Well, there you go. Yes.
Why not?
So,
Yeah.
yes. So that all those people listening out there, yes, have a think about being stuck in the rat race and get releasing yourself from it.
That's
And
it.
on that note, Tim, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. It's been a joy chatting with you, and hope we can
Always.
do it again soon.
Why not? Carolyn, thanks a lot. Appreciate you. And thanks to everybody listening in.
Thank you.